Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and joined with hubby.
Okay.
And today we are burning realistic leaves, and we're going to do that in under an hour. Now, what we did last week was the flower, and if you're doing a design that just has flowers, and this will work for you. How we did the petals last week is how you'll do all your petals for any flower. Now, today we're going to do the leaf. And we're starting on this leaf right here. And do you know which pin you got? And are you turned on?
No.
Okay, he's got the 18 small. And I am set at 2 right now. You remember, you're going to have to test your setting. Make sure it's not too dark. We don't want too dark. And when you touch down, you want it flat, not angled left or right. Since you're left-handed, you tend to angle left. So we want it flat. Because we're going to flatten and drag. Alrighty, let's see here. First, I want to say hi to Trinity. That's Andrea's granddaughter. She's starting to burn, and she's doing the flower, and it was so awesome to see those photos. That just made my day. It made me tear up. So you're doing a great job. Keep at it. And then we'll say hi to Andrea, Spence, Sheila, Kathy, Jerry. Jerry's new. In the chat, Teresa, and we'll get going. So I'm going to go ahead and use also the 18S. Set on 2. Oh, and Burrow. I saw somebody say hi to Burrow, so I say hi to Burrow. Alrighty. Now, we are going to start with the lightest part. So right where there's the line. Do you need the pattern? It's up there if you do.
No, I'm good.
Are you still trying to figure out? Oh, always drag down.
I'm at 2.5. I'm not getting it.
Push your pen into the cord. Maybe it came loose. There you go.
Oh, it was loose at the base.
Oh, so you have to be careful with your tip, your cords being loose in the base, because you can actually melt the inside of your face panel, regardless of what burner it is.
Yeah.
You can melt the components. So okay, you need to.
Good.
We're good now.
Yep.
All right. So remember, we're going to touch down. And with the leaf, we need to go out from the main part of the leaf, the lightest part, to get the veins and going in the right direction. So we're going to touch down right at the base and drag down. Touch and drag. Now, I only drew one line each for where the darks and lights are. I'm going to zoom in because I just realized I'm probably off. Hey, Tina. I'm going to angle it for you guys so you can kind of see how my tip is. Now, it's a little harder for hubby because he is only listening to me. He's not watching me. And I'm not watching him. So, I need to cut him a little bit of slack. So, touch and drag. Flat. Just drag down. And it'll start off dark at the top and it'll lighten up. And that just gives us a little bit more dimension. So, touch and drag. There you go. If you can angle your tip where half of the tip is touching down on the base, I know it's hard to see. But if you can get the top half, so from the point to halfway into the pin tip, you'll hold a little bit more heat in that tip. Drag down, because as we go down, we don't see as much of the veins. We do see a bit of curve, so we need to make sure we get that curve in there. Now, again, we're not doing any highlighting, because when you want realism, you don't want highlighting. You can undercut an area, meaning burn up against it, or negative burn the lighter area. What's wrong? I was so focused. Let's see here. We got up there. We got down here.
Phone's ringing.
Okay, we're all good.
I'm going to not answer that.
Not answer that. So we're keeping... We have to go under the petal. And some of this we need to make thicker. Curve around. Drag down. Now, like last week, the this board was, both boards were sanded 220, 320 and 400. And wipe down with denatured alcohol. And see, it's burning lighter because I'm moving the pin faster. The slower you move it, the darker it's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and lift up and give it a second to reheat. And touch back down just the tip. I'm doing a lot of dragging with this one versus the oval strokes. And that's so we can get some nice directional shading. Let's see here. Oh no, are we having, are they? Alright, they are having issues with it. You keep burning, and I'll try to figure out what in the world.
What's going on?
The mic. I thought I had it ready to go. And I guess I didn't. I even checked it. Did I lose it? No. There we go. So it's cutting in and out for you guys. This is like the one time I didn't need it doing this.
Do you want me to shut the window?
It's not the window, it's the mic. Okay, so you can still hear. Me too, but I can understand, so that's good. Oh no. And this is why people don't watch my videos, because I keep screwing this up.
That's not true.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see what I can quickly do without us having to pause the live stream. Because I don't want to do that. Alright, how about now? Are we cutting out now? I tried to disable like everything except for the mic, and hopefully that'll be okay. So how are you doing?
Pretty terrible.
What's going on?
I'm just having a hard time connecting.
Can I see? So, what, connecting with the piece or
Mentally.
mentally?
Yeah.
Are you having a harder day?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have those.
I'm doing my best.
Now, does it sound any better now? You're always doing your best, love. I don't question that at all. I'm going to wait until they tell us if this sounds better. Same here, still the same. What to do. I'm thinking. I wonder if I should shut off this mic and just use our camera mic. It's going to be really loud for me, but not as loud for you. Maybe. I am so sorry, guys. Trying to figure out what I can do. So that one was me, not the mic. Thing is I don't know what any of these plugins do. Guess we'll find out. How about now? We probably sound funnier now. Or I do. You're focused.
I know that.
Sounds like ocean waves. Listen to my calm sounding ocean waves. How about now? It'd be nice to be swimming in the ocean right now. I'll just go the other way. I definitely need to get this figured out. Alright. How about that? Probably still sounds like it. I'm just going to take it off. And we'll try something else. How about now? See, since I can't test how it sounds, I don't know what's going on. I'm just clicking buttons at this point. I'll wait till everybody says something. Now it's gone louder. Is that which part? My voice, as in I'm louder, or the screw up is louder? Now we're going to leave some wood for the highlights and curve around. I'm just going to wait till they tell me. This leaf is not folding, and we need to pay attention to that. If it was folding, our lines would follow that fold. Calming, same. They're telling me all this stuff. I don't know which way to go. Alright, so what's going on? Talk to me so I can talk to them.
You sure you don't want me to shut the window?
We can try it, but I don't think it's the window.
Okay.
I guess the mic could be grabbing the noise.
Well, like when I'm chatting online with friends, a lot of times if there's the dogs or outside noises, that override my voice, even though I'm the closest thing. I don't know what that phenomena is.
Okay, let's see if that's better. It's hot, but we'll live. We'll live.
There's a lot of traffic out there too.
There is. Hopefully that sounds better. So let me see how your leaf's going so we can talk to people's.
Okay, this is
Oh, you're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm having turned it down.
No, you're doing good. As you drag down, even with the same heat setting, if you just drag down, it'll start pulling the wood will start pulling the heat from the tip. It does it with all tips, all burners.
Yeah.
And it'll get lighter at the bottom. But you're doing. So they're all saying waves, but I just turned everything off. I don't.
Well, look at the meter.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, even when we're not talking.
The fan, could you click that off?
Yeah.
Now, how do we sound? Is that any better? I thought I had it all nailed. Alright, so we'll wait until they... See, I'm just slowly starting to drag in the lines. This is mine. Okay. So you can see it. Oh. And then we can build them up. So if yours is still good, love. I don't know why you don't think it is. It's still good. It's just a matter of like pulling these darks down a little further.
Yeah. And
trying to smooth it out a little bit. And you won't even be able to tell.
Okay.
Still there. Yeah, I don't know what's causing the problem.
You got your fan back on?
No, the fan and the window were not the problem.
I don't know.
I really need to sit down and figure out these settings so we don't have to keep doing it. And that way I have a list. So when it screws up, I can go through that checklist. Now it's gone very low for me. I can hear you a lot better. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So we're just going to drag along here. Now we don't want to go too dark on this edge because we're going to have that dark background in the back. So we have to be careful with that. Or it starts all looking the same. If you need to raise your, because you've already burned, you may have to raise your heat a little bit to get the same tonal value you were getting before. Let's get some of that in there. Better. Okay. Thank you, Jerry. See, they're supporting you. Love, you're doing good. You're doing good. So drag down and curl. So towards the bottom, I do go a little flatter with the whole pen, the whole tip. Yes, so I'm covering a bigger area and it's pulling that heat out more of the tip. Hey, Greg. Yodas. Greg Yodas. Yeah. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget something again, I need to tell everybody thank you for all the wonderful birthday wishes I got. I know I haven't answered everybody, but I've been in my head trying to get World Pyrography Month going. So let's get our darks. Those little squigglies at the end, love, those are the darkest part of the leaves.
Okay.
That's what those are. And it's a bit of a curve, so we're going to follow that curve. So I'm going to pull my camera closer. And I can go ahead and erase one side. Oh, you need an eraser, don't you? Or do you have an eraser?
I do not.
You do not have an eraser. Boom! You have an eraser.
Thank you.
Alright, and then we'll start seeing that petal because we've burned up against that petal. And it'll also show we need to go darker in order for that petal to really stand out, but not as dark as the background. You gotta keep that in mind. So I'm gonna actually bump up to 3.5 because I do have burn there. And I'm going to do more ovals just to blend out. Because here is where we're going to make this leaf pop out. Without going darker or as dark as the background, because this leaf doesn't recess into the background. It actually stands out from it. So we need to keep that. So let's make this leaf stand out clean. Get the shape right. And it's a good idea, especially when you're new to burning, to get used to going back and forth. If you've burned something one way, it may need to go a little darker. Totally normal to go back and adjust. Drag flat. So we've got questions. Oh, questions. And you can always darken it up. Remember, you can always darken. It's a little harder. Actually, if you go too dark, it's a lot harder to lighten it up. So it's better to err on the side of a little lighter until you get everything in around it and you're happy with it. So see, it's going to be hard to adjust this leaf fully because we don't have the dark background in. So it'll be one of those of going back and having to adjust. Doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. You're just getting it a little more nailed down. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and go dark just behind the leaf so we can see the different tonal values. Hi, Salito. Hopefully I said that right. How we doing? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, I'm listening to you and doing what you say, I hope.
Well, part of burning is figuring out how the pen moves better for you.
Yeah.
How it might move for me. Because I'm used to doing it. It might be a little harder. Alright, so there we go. Get a little bit of dark just in here. What I should have made the choice to do is put dark behind the flower and then lighten out. But I didn't. So, I mean, I can still do it. No, I can't because I've got too much dark over there. Yay, said it right. Just wanted to get some darks in here. go. Now we can see how much darker we can go with the leaf in order to make this petal pop out. Now we can always add some white to it, and I'll do that real quick. Turn down my heat. Let's see here, I'll use a little eraser so we can see everything. Alright, got some of that down. I need to grab my white charcoal. And so can I have that pencil right there, love? Thank you. Alright, let's put a little bit of white just so we can see. I'm going to shape this petal a little bit. So we got a stem back here that's lighter. It's the same color as here. It'll still be burned. It'll just go lighter. Slowly start popping out. There we go. Do that a little bit. And where it's a light stem, it's dark right up against it. There's a shadow on the right side, so we're going to drag quickly just to get that shadow. We do need this shadow because this is what helps make it look more 3D. So we need to make sure we get it in there. I'm moving my pen so I can get a lighter burn. Just kind of bouncing over things. Just kind of blend it in without not overhitting it. And let's see here, we do have a little shadow here. In fact, I can drag down from the shadow. To help blend it out. So it's not like really harsh, even though it is a... In the sepia photo, let me switch it over to sepia so we can see that. Maybe. I may not have. Nope, I didn't put the... That's okay. That's okay. So let's check in with you, just so I can start seeing where I can help. My board is straight. The camera is not, so that you can see the angle. No, I'm talking to them. Because my board is all sitting cockeyed. That I would like to see.
Gotcha.
Your leaf.
Oh, I thought you were talking to them.
Well, I can't see their leaf. You okay?
Yeah.
I think we'll go a little shorter today. We'll see if anybody's got questions. Let's see here. This is just a matter of smoothing it out.
That cord trick actually really helps.
Holding it in your palm.
Yeah, making the loop.
Yeah, it pulls some of the extra stress.
I noticed that I was having problems with the cord because sometimes the cord gets, because it's cord.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets caught on stuff, and then if you're trying to work and it gets hung up, then it's a problem. But if it's looped like that, then there's no problem.
It also pulls the extra weight off the wrist, even though it's like minute weight. It all adds up.
But it matters to me because I'm left-handed, but my left hand was really badly damaged, so I've come to adapt. But still, like every little thing helps.
There we go. Let's get some of this graphite off so you can see.
Oh, I can erase.
Oh well, I'm just. If you can try to. I mean, remember you can always flip your board and drag away because you're putting in some of the dark background.
I've been moving around.
Yeah. You can give a little more even burn by overlapping the strokes. But try to drag down, not push up, because the wood will catch the tip different. But you're still doing awesome.
I noticed that too.
Yeah. Practice.
It's hard.
Anything you do starts off hard until you figure out how to do it, and then it gets easier and easier. It was hard for you to start with airbrushing and getting it right.
Yeah.
But now you do, right?
Mostly.
It's the same concept.
I'm just out of practice.
Practice.
Just out of practice in art in general, I think.
Well, you've been working on other things.
Yeah.
So cut yourself some slack. Now, I do need some more shadow up under this petal. Pop it out. And I am working on World Pyrography Month. I will make a video on that. I'm stuck right now, so I'm trying to fix the stuckness. I kind of know what I want, but getting there has been a little harder. Now, I go up and down, and I know you guys see me go up and down. There's smaller strokes. And I'm used to doing certain things, so, but as somebody new to burning, it's better practice pulling down, dragging down. Thank you, Teresa. She said this was a nice size. This is a 4x6. And with Trikel, I bought a couple of 3-packs. So that we can just move to the next one. Although I don't know what that's going to be. The Super Toasties will have that input. Now I need to go ahead and erase my center line. I should grab my new erasers. Greg, I got some of those Pentel. I think I've had them before. I figured I can go back and forth on those erasers. Alright, quick drag to make it stay light. And then we can turn it on its edge and just bump up or use the tip. Bump up that shadow, but we need that shadow a little closer. I've been trying to do this all with one pen to keep that easier. So thus far, my burning has been, I don't know if we used the extra small last week, but this has all been 18 small.
What's the one I'm using?
18 small. I've got 2 of them.
Okay.
I got 2 of them. Now, should I go over doing the dark background next week with you?
Sure, because what I foresee having an issue with is getting a uniform dark background.
The best way to do that is layers. I know people think some people get awesome, perfect black backgrounds. They're also really good at taking photos and adjusting their work.
Photoshop.
Well, just even if it's just a simple phone edit of the photo. But I think sometimes that makes people feel bad.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the birch. Greg's got a granddaughter too. I knew that. I said that weird. I went to say great granddaughter, but then my brain reread what you wrote, and so my mouth was trying to adjust to it, and failed. And failed. So his granddaughter's over. Yay! So just flat dragging down in the direction. And we can leave wood showing because that wood also acts as a highlight that's not as stark as white. So we actually could use breathing room with our, I'm going to make this thinner, using our wood. Now every single thing has to be burned. Even realistic this leaf goes over that leaf. So I'm going to drag it over. Oop. Went into the petal a little bit. Clean it up. With the lighter, we leave this end as long as we get those shadows in. That's kind of a wrinkle underneath the main stem part. Gives us that motion in the leaf. And I'm going to go in this direction just to make the shadow that's bumping up a little more uniform and blend it out. Let's get a wrinkle in. So yeah, I've used the same pen so far for the whole thing. And I'm just mentioning that because in general, you'll find a few pens that you really connect with. You don't have to have 20 pens, even to do different subjects. And so, if you're tight on money, I still recommend a wire tip, but you can get away with just a few pens, and that'll make all the difference. I just put that up so it's easier to read. So, you got any questions that you think new people for burning a leaf would have?
No, I mean, you cover everything. It's just a matter of applying it. Yeah,
it's easy for me to say it. It's a little harder for those new to translate the information from their ears, their brain, to their hand.
Yeah.
So you have to be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
You have to.
A lot going on there.
Yep. If you're not patient with yourself, you're less likely to stick with burning, and I don't want anybody to leave burning. Burl said, yes, she does. I did 20 plus pins. Well, that's your choice, Burl. Those who are new to burning or are looking for a wire tip burner. Too many pins can be overwhelming and not knowing which ones to choose, when to burn what. So it's kind of like starting off with a few pencils or a few paints and getting used to your supplies. And then you can branch. Feel free to branch out. But sometimes we can always overdo it. The reason I have so many pens is because I test them. I need to find more. Maybe 10. What is she talking about 10 for? What is Teresa talking about? I'm backing up trying to. Oh, bye, Greg. I didn't... You're going to explain to me why you need... Are we still talking about burning? Or are we on something else? Because my brain's like, what are we doing? Alright, let's see what you got.
Well, I got to erase here.
Yeah, go ahead. Make sure your burner's off. It always needs to be a habit that you put your pen down, you turn your burner off. I have left my burner on 3 times. But I have a very stable holder for mine. Mine are iron holders. They're meant for soldering irons. But it could be scary walking in after 6 hours and going, oops, I left it on. Luckily, I didn't touch anything. I didn't burn the house down. So always get into the habit of putting your pen down and turn it when you put your pen down. Turn it off. Ooh.
It's really spotty.
But it's a leaf. I think it's okay for it to be spotty. I think you're doing a lot better job than you think you are.
Well, if it is, it's by accident.
Well, so be it.
What I'm trying to do, it's like in the movies or something when somebody like the sharpshooter like hits the bottle and they're like, "Wow, that's an amazing shot," and they're like,
"But I was aiming for the other one,
for the barn."
But you're doing. One, you can't compare to mine.
I was aiming for the barn.
You were aiming for the barn? Well, I think you hit the barn. One, you cannot compare to mine.
Yeah.
I've been burning for 15 and a half years.
Of course.
This is only the, what, fourth time you've tried burning? Maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I'm having a problem with is the properties of the pin and the interaction of heat between the pin and the wood, because like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll get in a kind of like, okay, I'm starting to get a smooth gradation, and then I will either tilt the pin or I'll raise up and put it down, and I get a blob.
Well, remember, if you raise up to just blow on your tape, just quickly blow on it, just to reduce that heat just a little bit.
That's the thing. It's like my muscle memory isn't there, so like a lot of it, there's a lot of things to juggle there, and trying to figure out like how everything interacts is hard. It's like driving a stick. It's like trying to figure out the interaction between the clutch and the gas,
but the more you practice a stick, the next you're popping clutches and
exactly. But I'm not there yet. I'm still grinding gears.
But that's okay. But it's still, if we put more burning and then make sure the background's really dark, it's not going to look off. Luckily, the leaves all look different.
Well, yeah, and I'm aware of that too. Like nature, you know, it's just trying to get. Like, I think that's the difference between, like, I'm not going to say professional artists because it sounds snobby, but, like, a lot of artists will be like, oh, this is a fantastic piece, and, you know, like, but maybe there's a percentage of that piece, like a large percentage, that they didn't intend to do. It was either by accident or, you know, or they're like, oh, this was a mistake, but this looks like it was intentional, and I'm going to roll with that.
Which is nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think that the better artist that you become, that the less that happens, and the more of the work is intentional, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's like, it's like sometimes there's a looseness with work, like, you know, like, oh, I'm going to do these trees here, and, you know, this is the technique I'm using, and however it turns out, I'm going to be happy with.
Yeah.
That's something different. But, like, when you set out to do a triangle and you make a square, and you're like, oh, this square looks fantastic, just like, yeah, and it's awesome, you know, that's maybe cutting yourself too much slack, and it might look good, but it's not what you intended.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that as an artist, if it's your final piece, and maybe the public doesn't need to know that, but you got to be honest with yourself about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're new. That's one.
Yep.
Two, we are in the ugly stage, so it's going to look like crap regardless of how long you've been burning. That does not matter. Every one of us has an ugly stage.
True. And
we have to push through it. Some of that, your dark oopses here, can be sanded back.
Yeah.
That way, when this gets really dark, like darker than what I have here, it will push them back, and they won't stand out as much. Right now, these stand out a whole bunch because there's nothing around here, and so it looks black, but it's not black.
Right. And then, like,
and you can drag up from them to smooth them out and bring them up into the rest of the leaf.
Yeah, and there's like some stuff in the background, like I was doing a vein in the leaf in the back behind everything.
Right
there,
here?
Yeah, right there. And, well, no, just down from that, the next one. There.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, but if you go down...
So you're adding this?
Well, yeah, because that's part of the background.
Oh,
but then,
it was a choice. You don't have to put that in.
I know, I thought it looked nice.
Oh, okay.
But there's another vein that's just past that I forgot. It's supposed to be right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So right here.
Yeah.
But that's a leaf.
And I was like, well, you know what? It's going to have to be okay.
Yep.
I'll just do it with the one, and it'll be okay. But that falls into that category of, like, what I intended versus what it actually is.
But with burning, you could actually keep this the same shade that it is. It's a leaf that's underneath things.
Yeah.
And you burn really dark around it, and it'll, in that shape, it'll still be there. It's just not as light as it is in the reference.
Yeah.
So you can still have the shape there and use the negative burning around it for the dark background to shape that leaf. And it won't even look like you screwed up.
Well,
that won't even be an accident.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that direct feedback, you know. Like, I realize I'm lucky because I'm getting, you know, direct one-on-one instruction with you. So, I mean,
the super toasties do when they ask.
That really helps, you know. Because, like, a lot of the stuff that you talk about, like doing little circles and, you know, drawing down and managing your heat and stuff like that, all that stuff is stuff I try and keep, you know, thinking about when I'm working. But I find that, like, the physicality of, like, how my hand is definitely affects how I burn.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's different from all of us because you're left-handed.
I'm left-handed, and this is my normal hand. This is my normal hand, and it's normal. And then I have this hand.
Straighten out your finger. There you go.
Okay, but it's still. But
Yeah,
I have some physicality issues with this that make it
harder to grab
harder
and hold.
to do certain things than other things. And
I've seen you break a pencil.
My doctors, you know, a long time ago, they were like, "You should learn to be right-handed," and I was like, "No, I will never do that."
No, you
but it helped me recover quicker too.
It did.
But there's still some things that are different about how this hand functions mechanically as opposed to this one.
Well, all left-handed people are going to tilt their burning tip just to the left slightly.
Say something else. All left-handed people are weird.
No. We got 2 kids that are left-handed besides you.
I know.
No. I mean, they're weird in their own way, but they're wonderfully weird. Not bad weird.
Okay.
They're awesomely weird.
I'll accept that.
But, I mean, so when I'm showing you how to burn something, I may be tilted more to the right because I'm right-handed.
Yeah.
And with you being left-handed, it's just a matter of...
Yeah, because I do tilt.
Adjustment.
I do tilt. Well, it depends on... Well, I'm still figuring out the pin, too. And that's another thing. That would be something that I would say for...
Actually, I'm incorrect.
For a new person...
I'm incorrect.
Is, like, definitely, like...
When I burn, I tilt to the left.
Okay.
I have a harder time tilting to the right. So which way are you tilting?
Both.
You're doing both this way?
It depends on what I'm trying to do.
I tilt more to the left with my right.
That's what I was going to say is, like, because of, like, if you're starting burning, I would say, like, this is feedback because I'm just starting burning.
Okay, let's make this clear, though. You are not a pyrographer. He's not learning to do this because he wants to grow a pyrography. He's learning to do this to help me and to help you guys.
And because chat made me.
And because Burl and Spence and who else was it?
Teresa or Andrea or maybe both.
Oh, it was Andrea. Yeah. Yes.
So, but and I appreciate that. But I guess what
makes it different too.
What I'm saying is like for me, like my feedback for me in the future, you know, is like, well, if someone told me right now, like, oh, hey, try and use another pin, like, I wouldn't want to do that because, like, I really need to understand the nuances of the 18S and get a handle on that before I try anything else. Because I think that, like, moving on to a different pin, for me, that's how I learned, is going to be too much.
I agree with you.
You know, it's like, because there's too many... There's a lot of factors to consider with the shape of that pin and like the angles and stuff like that.
No, I agree with you. If you can get a comfortable burn with one pin, you will feel so much more confident, which will help you grow faster.
And I would say then, like on another project, I might think, well, it might be nice if I had a different shape for this particular thing I'm trying to do. But like right now, I don't have the knowledge to do that. So.
And that's what I meant by having too many pins can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
If you narrow it down to just a few and you really get comfortable with those, then you may not even decide to want any more pins. Mm-hmm. And I have to say something to Gary. Excuse me. She's way up in the chat. She just got her Optima and is loving it.
Nice.
I'm so glad. So, it makes a difference having a good burner. So next week we'll do the dark background. I'm wondering if you shouldn't be in here with me to get the rest of the flower in.
Sure.
So we can have a finished flower.
I'm committed. I want to finish the piece.
Well, that's good because I gave you a good piece of wood.
I've never. Yeah.
I gave him the good stuff
like
too.
when we did the ornaments, was it ornaments or was it just a little? I know it was the Dirty Santa thing, but
they're back there.
But that was like a small piece, and like this would be the first like pyrography piece that I've ever really finished.
Yep, this is the only like going for realism as much as you can, learning to burn piece. You haven't done anything else.
No.
Other than just messing around for the most part, but not.
And I would say too, like if you're not a pyrographer and you have access to a pyrography machine, maybe your wife or significant other, partner or whatever has a machine, and you're an artist. Like,
even if you're not an artist, give it a try so you know what your spouse or significant other is doing.
Well, what I was going to say is that I think that it's a different art form. Mm-hmm. So maybe some of the techniques and discipline that you learn in pyrography might apply to other areas of your work.
Oh, that's true. I don't know how many artist couples we have that are like flat work artists, not flat pyrographer and wood carver. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like us.
Yeah, I know.
He was a painter.
We're kind of not really a rarity.
No, we're not a rarity, but
it's unusual. So, but if you have that situation, like you definitely do, or because I think some people they just watch this because it's like, oh, it's pyrography, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I think any significant other should give it a try just so that they know what their loved one is going through and has a little bit better understanding if they're, cussing at the ceiling.
Yeah.
They understand why they're cussing at the ceiling.
Yep. And I think for me, it gives me an extra, respect and understanding of what you work with, because there's a lot of things that you don't think about, when you're just watching it. And I think for me, patience, is the biggest thing, because
I'm still learning that.
Well, yeah,
15 and a half years later, I'm still learning that.
You do a good job when you're working, though.
No, even when I'm working, sometimes I have an issue with it. I wanted to get it done. I want to see it finished. I want to enjoy it done.
But with pyrography in particular, I don't think you can rush like that.
No.
Like you could crank your heat up and go really dark, but
cherry red burning will ultimately destroy your tips, your pins, and your cords. And you pay good money for them. There's no reason to do it.
Even if not, like what I'm noticing that I wasn't aware of is that even at lower temperatures, like I haven't gone above 2.5 this whole time. And like still, if I leave the pin down on the wood too long, that's like it starts to deform the wood. And, and like if you're burning at higher temperatures where it's like dark or black almost immediately, like
you're gouging the wood. Yes.
Doing something different, and that's a whole different thing.
So next week we're going to work on the dark background. Okay. We are going to do it in layers, and actually I may not even go full all the way out. Well, some areas I think I'm going to leave some breaks in wood.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that too. But like I would like to have like a little radial gradation out. Like that's what I'm thinking.
This way?
Yeah, but the problem that I'm having is that
that's going to have to go super dark.
Spotty. Because I don't have a control.
Luckily for a dark background, you can blend that in and you'll never see the spots.
Okay.
So we'll go over it.
Okay. If you say so. I believe you.
We will. Right, now your neck's hurting.
Yeah, I slept on it wrong.
Yeah.
So I can't turn right.
You can't turn right? No. You're a Zoolander now?
No, I just can't turn left.
I know, you're the opposite.
Yes.
But you're being a Zoolander, you can't turn right. Alright, so next week we will do the dark background. I gotta get the world pyrography stuff done. Yep, we'll get there. Alrighty, so we don't have any more questions. Say it with me, and that includes you because you are now doing it.
Okay.
Okay? You gonna say it with me? You're
It
awesome.
with me.
You can do this.
this.
Why? Because you're a
You're
pyro
a pyro
artist. Don't forget to hit
And I
like
am
and
an
subscribe.
imposter.
You're not an imposter. You're a wannabe. No, you're not a wannabe. I love
the
you.
truth
I
comes
love
out.
you. No, you're
You
not.
saw it here
Thank you.
live.
Thank you for
You
helping
saw
me.
it.
Thank you for helping me. Oh,
It's okay.
thank you for helping me. Bye, guys. Happy burning. Bye.